The skill I encourage young people to learn the most is finance. Let me be even more direct. If you get through your entire life, would I ever try to understand markets or money flow? Then chances are you spend your whole life trading time and energy for money. By the time you reach your middle age or life, you notice your body can't keep up the same way anymore. Your energy drops, but your income is still stuck under an invisible ceiling. And the worst part isn't just earning less. It's realizing that no matter how hard you work, or you get us more exhausted. A lot of people hear the word training, and the first reaction is, too risky, too easy to lose money. And I don't blame you for thinking that, because you probably haven't seen how the world actually works underneath. Here is the reality. At the core of almost everything in this world is the movement of money. A small street shop runs on cash flow. A company with dozens of employees runs on capital efficiency. You might think the boss is managing people, but in reality, what they're managing is money. How to increase revenue faster, how to reduce costs, how avoid risks that could destroy your business. Whoever controls the rhythm of capital moves closer to real power, but all you ever do is work harder and count how many hours you work today. Then you'll always be the one being looked at. Learning trading isn't really about buying and selling every day. It's about understanding how many mirrors. When you start studying price movements, market psychology, policy changes, and micro cycles, you begin to realize something. Many businesses are simply conglomerates. We're in different disguises. Once you get in that perspective, you start seeing industries differently. You quickly recognize which ones have real profit potential and which ones only look exciting. The act is mainly to burn other people's money. If you never learn these things, you will always believe that making money means working longer hours, staying up blush, and pushing yourself harder. But real efficiency comes from decisions making money for you, not from you constantly running for survival. The difference in mindset can completely determine where you are 10 years from now. Will you be sitting calmly in front of a screen making decisions, or working under the sun completing tasks for someone else? The difference isn't destiny. The difference is whether your mind understands how capital works. Some people say trading is risky, but let me ask you something. Is starting a business risk-free? Opening a shop means rent, staff costs, inventory. If customers don't show up, those costs are very rare, and it's hard to walk away. But marketplaces offer ordinary people a relatively fair playing field. They don't care about your background. They don't care about connections. They care more about your understanding, your discipline, and your risk management. You don't need to beg anyone for opportunities. You don't need powerful connections. All you need is advice and the system you can execute. If your judgment is right, you follow the trend. If you're wrong, you accept that. Cut the loss. Unadjust. What you protect is your next opportunity. Most ordinary people don't like opportunities. What they lack is the ability to survive long enough to reach the next one. So is trading an opportunity or a trap? The answer is simple. It depends on whether you yet learn. What is a gamble? Real trade and is not impulsive. It is systematic. It is not emotional. It is rule-based. It forces you to pay attention to bigger things. Where interest rates are heading, what inflation expectations are doing, where capital is flowing. Health industries is changing. You start paying attention to data, to policy, to cycles, and suddenly you realize something. Before, when you watched the news, you were just watching for entertainment. Now you ask a different question. Will this affect our suppressants? Will this change capital preferences? Instead of just trying to survive until next month, he began thinking in 5 years or even any reasons. When you start seeing the world from a trader's perspective, your confidence slowly grows. You stop fearing being repressed because the skill you have can always be resaddled. Markets move every day. Opportunities appear every day, but only if you have a method, discipline, and boundaries. That feeling makes people calmer, not arrogant. Many people say they fail because markets are too difficult, but honestly, most of the time, they simply never understood the rules. The market doesn't slow down just because you're anxious. Everywhere's only goes. Here is bad risk. Uncontrolled the path. If you enter with fantasies, reality will teach you quickly. But if your trader has long-term practice, the rewards will eventually come. Training has one beautiful thing. It reveals you to yourself, your personality, your weaknesses, your emotional habits. Everything becomes visible. That's why I encourage young people to learn travel. Not because it could change your life overnight, and not because it's excellent, but because it helps you understand capital. The earlier you understand money, the less likely you'll be controlled by emotion. The earlier you learn independent thinking, the harder it becomes for others to manipulate you. Undeniability is far more important than short-term results.